Hello everyone, it's Robinson Guy. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to go over basically the pros and cons of Palantir, and I think this is an especially insightful video if you're a Palantir investor or whether you're thinking of getting into Palantir. So basically what I'm going to go over is I'm going to go over the cons and the pros, like the top five on each side. I'm going to cover basically like the bear case and like the bull case. So I'll go over the reasons in depth as well. I won't just like, give you this like bullet by bullet. I'll also explain why, it's a pro or it's a con. And overall, I think it's going to be a very insightful video. And yeah, so really good information that we need to cover. So real quick, I just want to emphasize that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just going to go over basically my opinions of what the pros are and the cons. And all right, so let's get into it. All right, so let's start with the cons. So for number one, the number one con reason I would say is the fact that Palantir has only 125 customers, approximately. So this is kind of bad if you're looking at it from like a bearish perspective, because especially when you look into, okay, out of these customers, how many of these customers are actually giving like the most money to Palantir. So if we take a look at this article right here, as you can see, it says the company has only approximately 125 customers, despite being in business for nearly 2 decades, and as a result, it's not diversified enough. And then it even goes into more detail, saying that the top 20 clients generate 70% of the overall revenue, and while one commercial client generates over 20% of the overall commercial revenue. So just by looking at it from a bearish perspective, that might seem like a risky investment if you're thinking of being in Palantir, or if you're already in Palantir and looking at it from that perspective. So overall, yeah, like the fact that they don't have that many customers definitely does seem like it's definitely, I would approximate it at the top as like a con, a bearish point. And overall, like the more customers, obviously the more customers a company has, then the better it looks overall, from an investor perspective, right? So that's why I have it number one, especially when you think about it. Like let's say, for example, Palantir, they have a lot of government business, especially from the U.S. government. So if you're thinking of it from an investor perspective, and then all of a sudden the U.S. doesn't want to, or like they stop doing contract renewals and stuff like that with Palantir, then that could really hurt Palantir as a business overall. So that's just something to take it. Okay, so reason number two, I would say, is the market cap. And market cap is actually, in some ways it's good to look at the market cap, and then in other ways it's kind of like overall like bad, from my perspective, because a lot of companies, especially nowadays, the valuations could be a lot higher than you expect. But overall, if we're looking at it from like a bearish perspective, you do have to look at the market cap and kind of analyze, okay, where is Palantir, like where's it being evaluated as of right now, and where does it stand with like other companies. So as of right now, the market cap of Palantir is around 44 billion dollars. So if you want to compare it with other companies that are around the same market cap, so for example, that's what the market cap is basically saying, is that Palantir is roughly the same as like Cognizant or eBay, or even let's see, what else did I see here, HP, and what else is here? I know I saw Chipotle somewhere around here. Yeah, Chipotle. You see, so basically, as of right now, the way it stands, we're basically saying that Palantir is worth more than Chipotle, and like other companies right here, for example, like I think I even see Dollar General, almost the same market cap. So if you want to compare it that way, and then obviously, like another good example would be Tesla. When you see the Tesla's market cap and compare it to like other like automobile companies, then definitely that's something that like you might see as like a risky type of an investment if you're looking at it that way. So I think from market cap perspective, it's definitely if you're looking at it from a bearish perspective, you would say, this is actually pretty high because Palantir, it doesn't have that many customers, first of all, and it's being evaluated as like the same as Chipotle and stuff like that, So that's just something of from a bear's perspective, something like that the bear case would say, basically. All right, so number 3 is no profit. So far Palantir has been around for, I believe, around 17 years, and they haven't made a profit in in a long time. So again, if you're looking at it from a bearish perspective, you would say like, do I really want to invest in a company that hasn't made a profit yet, or like it barely has enough customers, and the market cap seems a little bit too high. It's probably being evaluated like way more than it should be, So again, that's another con I would put in. But don't worry, I'll get to the pros in a second. I know I'm being a bear as of right now, but I'll switch over to the bull side in a second. Okay, so another bear case that I would put as number 4 is scalability. So scalability is basically like how far of a reach can this company go out, like for example, let's say Apple, right? Apple has, I would say, a good amount of scalability because their products and services affect like millions of people. Like, there's iPhones everywhere and stuff like that. However, Palantir, they kind of have like this narrow market as of right now, where there's not that many companies that need like big data analytics and big data visualizations to help them out, especially with Palantir being more on like the pricey side of other competitors, where they probably have to pay less with other competitors. So definitely scalability could definitely be like another good bear point for the bear case, right? So that's just another thing you want to look into. And lastly, I would say the stock-based compensation. So as of right now, Palantir is pretty high with its stock-based compensation. So basically how they pay their employees, it's they definitely take a good chunk of like what would be profits and converting them into stock-based compensation, and that's how they pay their employees with like stock options and stuff like that. And another reason that this could be a con is because big executives and top level executives and all that stuff, they tend to sell like their shares and stuff, which causes the share price to go down and stuff. But normally this happens within like startup tech companies. So, but either way, I wanted to put it out there as a con. And overall, those are my 5 cons or bearish points that you have to take into account if you're investing in Palantir or thinking of investing in Palantir. All right, so now let's get into the pros. So I'm definitely excited to talk about this. So number 1, I put competition. So definitely, I think that's one on like the bull side of bull case, the competition. So we take a look at competition here. So here I have this open. So basically, as of right here, this is kind of like the comparison to other potential competitors to Palantir. So let's go through these in a little bit more detail. So over here you have Palantir, of course, and then let's start from this side. So Cognizant, I don't know why Cognizant is here as a competitor. I actually know this company. This company is more of a consulting type of company. They don't specialize specifically on data visualization and stuff like that. As you can see here, they mainly specialize in services, consulting, development. So I don't even know why it's here. I wouldn't consider this a top competitor, so we can scratch that one off. So Splunk. So now looking at Splunk. So Splunk is actually probably the closest one, if anything, to being a competitor. As you can see here, they have data visualization, machine learning, and the way I see it, Splunk is more of it's not necessarily I guess a data management type of software as Palantir, which Palantir has data management. Splunk is more of a data visualization and machine learning and just like reporting and stuff like that, and like having like if you're more on the tech side of things, you kind of understand more of like what I'm talking about. But overall, like if you compare it from, if you're trying to compare apples to apples, this is more, a little bit more of like apples to oranges right here. So I wouldn't consider like exact competitor, as if you're trying to compare let's say Samsung to Apple phones, you know. So again, I wouldn't consider this like a top competitor for Palantir. And then Tableau, again, Tableau is more on like of like what definitely has analytics for sure, but it's more on the BI side of things, the business intelligence, which is when you get to that side of things, it's more of like high level data, high level reporting and stuff like that. Not necessarily data management, and not necessarily easy to use data management, based on what I've seen with Palantir and their Foundry products and stuff. And then here we have Tyler Technology and Variant. So these two are more on the cybersecurity side of things, and I can see why they posted them as competitors, because Palantir does specialize on the counterterrorism and other defense type of contracts and stuff like that for the U.S. government. So due to their Gotham technology and stuff like that, so I understand why they put them here as competitors. But again, Palantir is kind of like overall, Palantir has more of a what's the word I'm looking for? They're more general when it comes to their technology. So Gotham is more for like the government side of things. Their Foundry is more for the commercial side of things. So with those two, they can specialize more in the scalability of the data sector, whereas these ones they specialize more on like specific things. So overall, if this are the actual competitors, which I don't consider them like big competitors to Palantir, it's looking very promising for Palantir. So that's why I put competition as number one as a pro. So number two, data is the future. That's my personal opinion. I think data is definitely. I mean, if it's not already like big right now, it's definitely gonna get bigger in the future. Especially with how there's so much data, there's so much like there's more and more people in the world, and there's like you need data in order to come to decisions and big level decisions. You need data to cut costs. You need data you need data with AI to be able to do predictive analysis and stuff like that. So data is definitely gonna play a big part in the future, and I feel like that's definitely a pro for Palantir. And if you're thinking of being a Palantir investor, that definitely want to look into the data side of like or data companies to invest, I would say. But so, and Palantir is definitely up there with the data. So that's why I put it number two. So number three, I put government dominance because, well, it's not just the US where Palantir has like a long-standing relationship, and they've been in business with them for a long time, especially from the defense sector. So it's not just that, but Palantir is definitely like on the local side as well, in local government. So for example, Palantir is used in like a lot of local police precincts and stuff like that. So there's a lot of local and federal government contracts for Palantir, and not just in the US, because the US is like their biggest key player, but they've actually been branching out for other governments, like in I believe it's Japan and the UK. So definitely Palantir is definitely branching out. So that's another, it's good having that government type of dominance, because, well, one, if you already have a contract with the government, that's already really good, because not only did you get your way in with the government, but usually it's a lot easier for you as a company to renew your services. So, and as you can see, Palantir has been with the US government for a long time. They've been with both parties, both Democrat, both Republican. It doesn't really matter. Palantir just really focuses on making sure that the U.S. government has the best technology. All right, so number 4, commercial growth. So I put this as number 4 because as of right now, Palantir is barely branching out into the commercial side of things. So yeah, they have good government, like a good foundation with the government in terms of revenue and contracts and all stuff. But lately, Palantir has actually just barely started expanding on the commercial side of things. So for the longest time, Palantir didn't even think of hiring like a sales team. They that wasn't like their intention. They focused solely on engineers, and they just wanted engineers to make like the best tech, data software company that they can, basically. So that was their vision in the early years. However, now I feel like they feel confident with their technology, and they definitely want to start growing their sales team, expanding out to the commercial side of things, and getting new partnerships and stuff like that. And they've been having like pretty heavy hitters with like Airbus, for example, and some other big automotive companies, and they've just done some like partnership with Amazon on and a ERP system and stuff. So definitely Palantir is growing on the commercial side. So that's what I put number 4, and it's just gonna keep growing. Especially with like they even had a new recent partnership with IBM, and IBM I believe is gonna help them with their sales team, and giving Palantir is basically going to be utilizing like a huge chunk of IBM sales team in order to do more sales and stuff like that. So definitely Palantir's commercial growth is just getting started. And lastly, I had to put ARK Invest as number 5. I believe this is a good bullish type of case because there's a lot of fans for ARK, myself included, and ARK, especially with Kathy Woods, she's been, I wouldn't say like 100% right, but she has been definitely like up there in the calling it like how it is with Tesla, and definitely investing in these growth type of stocks, and being more of like a long-term investor, like 5 to 10 years out. So with ARK having like Palantir's back in a way, I feel like that's another pro, because it just gives more sentiment into especially the retail investors, and I feel like that's definitely a good bullish case to take note of. So all in all, I know I know like the bulls of Palantir right now are like, man, why is this stock going down? Blah blah blah. But you have to keep in mind that the market goes up and down like all the time. We recently had like a long bull run, I would say like for almost a year now, and now we're hitting the whole bond yields and everything. So definitely taking a breather with it's causing stocks to go down, and especially growth stocks like Palantir is definitely causing it to go down. But what I would say to the bulls is just be grateful, if anything, that these prices are still low for the meantime, so you can keep loading up as much as you can. Every paycheck or whatever. That's normally what people do for like long-term investing. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not advising to do that. But if I was doing that myself, that's what I would be doing. So again, that's like my note to the bulls, and my note to the bears. I would say, the bears definitely, they also make good points. They definitely point out a lot of key things, and they're saying that it's already priced in and everything. But then again, like there's many stocks that have high valuations as of right now. It's not just Palantir. There's like I can name like many. And again, it just depends on what the market is doing currently. So if the market's going in a downturn, then a lot of growth stocks will probably take a hit. However, when the market, turns around, then, everything will go back up, and then you're going to be like, no, like I missed out on, buying it when it was cheap and stuff like that. So all in all, I would say if you're either a Palantir investor or if you're thinking of investing, definitely take these notes into account. I'm sure there's more pros and cons, but these were just my pros and cons personally. If you like this video, please give a like. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.